morning, everyone. This is Roshan Bhondekar joining from Spain. You are watching 360-degree live show hosted by Transforming Times. The purpose of this show to invite people who are working on the ground and doing something different on the society, who are making them aware through education, through different training, and as well as their work. Right. So today we have a special guest joining us from Africa. She's based in Kenya right now, but I will introduce deeply later on. But just wanted to give you more focus on this show. The agenda of today's discussion will be about to talk about digital marketing, then understand how digital marketing is more important in today's world. The digital transformation of many industries due to the corona pandemic, how this is impacting and affecting the existing business, those who are not online. These are the topics we are going to talk, and we'll specifically focus on the journey of the guest today who is joining from Nairobi, Kenya. To join with me to welcome Janet Machuka, who is digital marketing trainer plus founder of African Twitter Chat, that is what ATC Academy, who's running there on the ground and working for betterment for people to make them aware digitally and socially. So Janet, welcome on Transforming Times.
Thank you so much, Roshan.
Yeah, it's pleasure to have you on Transforming Times, and looking forward to have a fruitful discussion, right? So Janet, just walk us through about your journey when you started your Twitter, that was Tweet Africa Tweet Chat, right? That's what the company founded. That is what ATC Academy. So before you starting that mission and that platform, what was your inspiration and dedication to start this kind of forum to help society and make them more digitally motivated and inspired?
Wow. Hi, everyone. I hope you are doing amazing and thank you for joining us today on this Saturday. I like that question because I've been able to answer it quite a number of times, but until today or recently, it's when I realized the inspiration didn't just come from the fact that digital was a space where I can be able to explore and learn something new. I have a background of, I grew up in the village. I didn't know much about digital, much about phones, a lot of things that I never used to see around where I grew up. I'm now experiencing them. And looking at the fact that I am one of the girls from a village who have been able to be to as in to be able to invest in the kind of marketing that I'm doing or the industry that I'm in, it motivates me a lot to be able to teach people, give people a platform so that they can be able to learn, so that they can be able to interact at the same time, build themselves, and also look at the digital space as a space where they can professionally grow, not just entertain themselves with some posts or what is happening. So my inspiration is basically where I come from, what I've been able to undergo, and how I've been able to connect with so many people, so many great networks, meaningful networks, and people like Roshan from whichever place they are. So that actually inspires me a lot to be able to keep on doing what I'm doing, and again to keep on finding out more what is there that I haven't really ventured into.
That's good to know, Janet. And it's like indeed, your work reflects that kind of confidence. When we look
Thank
at your
you.
Twitter and also your followers on different social media, it gives different empowerment to youth, to do something different for society, right? So before starting this digital platform, right, digital company, as you founded ATC Academy, uh,
Mhm.
did you see, is there any challenges before not before going online? What was the challenges which you think which can be solved for founding this company and establishing this company to help Africans and other people?
Yes, I joined social media first to entertain myself and to be able to share what I love doing. And by then, I was writing for a media house as a yes, I was one of the writers. At the same time, I love poetry. Poetry was a way of me communicating the way I feel, the way I want to connect with the people. So
Mhm.
digital came in as an advantage for me because it was something that I've never known about. I
Mhm.
didn't like know about, and it was a new venture for me to be able to learn and be able to be like a leader to most of the people in my space. So starting the academy was a way of bringing together people that I can be able to learn with, that I can be able to share with, at the same time grow opportunities that are there in the digital space. So I would draw it back to 2017 when I was actually verified. I I try. It was a trial and error for me. So it
Mhm.
wasn't like I was positive that I'm gonna get the verification. So when I got the verification badge, I was like, wow, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Yes, I'm a journalist. I have
Mhm.
a media background, but
Mhm.
I have this new desire and interest to learn digital marketing. So for
Mhm.
me, I thought, what if I bring people together so
Mhm.
that we can learn together at the same time grow together, because I was not yet an industry expert. So the aspect of bringing people together and learning actually encouraged me to dig deeper,
Mhm.
research more, and
Mhm.
do more and learn more about digital marketing. And
Mhm.
that's what has really kept me going and be
Mhm.
able to show up on the
Mhm.
digital spaces to do what I'm doing and to be able to connect not only Africans and people who want to learn in the African space, but also throughout the world. So that alone gives me the courage, gives me the, the reason why I should be there. I should constantly think about creating the network,
Mhm.
building meaningful relationships, and opening opportunities for others. And I've seen it happen actually. So
Mhm.
many people in my circle have been able to be connected to opportunities. Personally, I've worked with different companies from different countries. I've been able to connect people like Roshan. Imagine, what if I wasn't on social media? Do you think we would have met?
Impossible. It's good to know that the point you rightly mentioned, right? Everything is right now online and digital, right? And being a
Uh-huh.
journalist, you have seen in last 10 years possibly the situation. The reporters are reporting news from a different part of the world, and the transformation which happened is very rapidly, right? So breaking news
True.
is like very quick, right? Earlier, if you look at 10 15 years ago, the breaking news and reporters used to take a time, and there was not online presence of any reference to validate that news is real or fake. But what is your next upcoming 5 year target, being a journalist and being this digital marketing the person? What is your aim? You are looking forward for upcoming 5 years to create impact in a journalism industry in the upcoming 5 years through your academy.
Oh, through my academy, Africa T-shirt was actually, I like the fact that before I could answer that, let me just give a little background of how did even Africa T-shirt came to be. So starting off the community for me to learn and to be able to connect people within the industry that I am in and to learn from them, to be able to get opportunities at the same time, to be able um, to spark the desire to learn and the interest to learn for those people who haven't realized that there is a lot of opportunities on social media. I developed a community which is Africa Chit Chat. And Africa Chit Chat was, my main goal was to connect the 54 countries, the
Mhm.
54 countries in Africa, where we can get individuals or like representatives. They can be able to share to us their journeys and how is the digital spaces, how is marketing there, how are people adapting to the digital marketing. At the same time, how can we who are already in the community be able to tap into opportunities from different countries. And you have already seen there are so many campaigns that some brands have actually been able to like run on social media that involved influencers from different countries. So how my main goal was how can we create relationships that at the end of the day, if I have to be one of the influencers doing a certain job or a certain campaign, I can be able to tap into different locations. The people who follow me at least understand what I'm talking about, and they are there as my target audience. So from a community which actually grew very fast, we were
Mhm,
like, wow, what if we now start thinking about not only inviting people to be guests, not
mhm,
only giving people opportunities to share their ideas and people to interact every week on Wednesdays, why
mhm,
can't we develop a school where us as the already developed industry leaders from the community chats and from what we've been learning and encouraging each other, we can develop courses, we can develop a platform, we put in the courses, we invite the students from whichever place they are in Africa so that
mhm,
they can learn. And in this way, our main goal was how can we bring out the African story? How
mhm,
can we share the content, the information, the knowledge, the education on digital marketing in a way that it's more understandable from where we sit, and that is
mhm,
Africa, instead of always depending to learn from other platforms from outside. Because at the same time, we need an opportunity to tell our stories our own way. We need an opportunity to learn the digital space our own
mhm.
way, because I understand different people behave differently when it comes to content, when it comes to social media. And that's
Absolutely.
why sometimes when you'll have to run a campaign in Africa, you'll have to learn the market first. You have to see and know how do they consume the content? How do they behave when different strategies are used? So that's what we were looking at. How can we tell our stories using the knowledge that we have learned and package it in a way that it's understandable in our communities?
Mhm.
So
Good.
that's where we
That's
are.
nice. That's nice to know, Janet. I think I'm not wrong, right? So you are listed under the top 100 influencer in Africa, right? On a
Yeah.
social and digital marketing. That's good achievement. And I see your work is getting noticed by so many government agencies and politicians as well. But how you look at the recent issues which has recently happened in Nigeria, right? So Twitter got banned because the president tweeted something, and then Twitter said, okay, that is not with accordance to our policy. We cannot put that tweet on a public area, so they deleted that. And suddenly, the Nigerian government, the president has announced that Twitter is getting banned from tonight, right? So how you look at that perspective? Is that a risk? Janet, can you hear me? I think there is a problem at your side.
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah. So I think there is a network connectivity issue at your end.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah. Yes, we can hear you. Yeah. So yeah, I think Janet is facing some network problem. Just be with us. Possibly she's going to join back again.
Try and rejoin because I think,
Absolutely. Possibly you have to rejoin it. There's some network connectivity issue. Apologies for that.
okay.
This information from our audience. Sorry for interruption in our network service from Janet's side. Janet, can you hear me?
Give me a
Possibly.
minute. I'm trying to rejoin.
Yeah, you can rejoin again. So that's what Janet was talking about, the importance of digital media in today's world, right? How it is creating impact. And Janet is being a top 100 influencers from Africa. She's, doing and helping different digital influencers to train them, to educate them how individuals can utilize their knowledge for betterment for, digital awareness and all. So she's being, this kind of role since last 3 4 years, and she's continuously working hard for African community to make them aware about the current situation and all. So be with us. Janet is joining soon on this platform again. Yeah, it's better
Hello?
now. Yeah,
Sorry for that.
yeah.
I
So my
realized
question
it was at frozen.
Yeah. So then my question was, as we see, right, recently there was the violation issue, right? If you talk about human right violation, that's a human right violation. If I look at journalism perspective, that's a human right violation, right? Because governments should not supposed to ban application because they are telling something which is not right, and the company like Twitter, address that tweet is is harmful for society, and they deleted that. And suddenly they banned the Twitter. So what is your view and opinion on this situation? How we can handle being a digital influencer from Africa? How you see this is an issue which is really suppressing the voice of people who wanted to do something, but politicians are not doing. Politicians don't want to don't want to expose their failure, right? So they wanted to
Yeah.
defend failure. So how you think about this issue?
Well, I look at it in two ways, and one will be about leadership. When it comes to leadership, there is that aspect of you being as you have to be responsible in a way you treat or you communicate to your people. And now that leaders are using the social media platforms, of which these social media platforms are platforms which have already given people an opportunity to share their feelings, to communicate, and specifically to engage. And when you talk about engagement, the mainstream media doesn't give you um, that engagement bit. And this is why social media is here. And this is why most of the people are using social media, because they can be able to respond, share their views, they share their opinions. Some people will respond, some politicians or some leaders, depending on the industry they're trying to share their views or opinions about, they will respond. So there is a two-way communication, which we call engagement, where I say something and you respond to it or you react to it. And that's exactly what people are doing. People are reacting to the different things they feel like these are the things that have oppressed us. These are the doings of the politicians or leaders that we want to change, or we are not feeling good about it and we don't like it. So let's talk about it on social media, where we can easily share our views. The platform is free. The only thing you need is Wi-Fi or the internet or the bundles, So when it comes to leadership, where we have to be there too, and we already have the social media platforms, we have the handles, we are even verified.
Mhm,
We are Most of these followers and all our citizens are looking at us.
mhm,
They want to know what are we going to say about something, how are we responding about a certain issue. If
mhm,
it's the poor infrastructure and people are so agitated about it and they are speaking about it on social media, it's not all about how we react to them in a way that we are going to punish them. And this is where empathy plays a major role as a leader. How are you showing your empathy to the people? How are you packaging your communication,
mhm,
your way of response, and the way
mhm,
you're reacting generally to the issue? If I have to use this example of the Nigeria Twitter ban,
mhm, mhm,
personally, I laughed at it. I was laughing because how can you ban a whole
mhm.
country from Twitter on
Yeah,
Twitter?
yeah. No, actually, Janet, the problem is that the courage, right?
Yeah.
How leaders can do this kind of things, right? They are afraid of digital media. It means that they are not doing their work, and they are afraid to get them exposed by people, right? So that is the biggest failure of
I
country.
know. I know
Yeah,
sometimes it can be very, very steamy, or the conversations can send you
yeah,
in a raging mood as a leader if you dare read all of them. And that's where
yeah,
sometimes you need to have a PR team. Can you
yeah.
get people who can be able to guide you through on how you
Mm.
can react on some matters? Like if
Uh,
we have to use the example again of Nigeria, that
yeah.
was unreasonable. How can you ban? First, you have banned the public and the Twitter users in your country from using Twitter, and you're tweeting about it. How
Yeah.
dare you?
Actually, I think,
Secondly,
yeah, I think, Janet, sorry to interrupt you in this between. I think this is not
yeah.
problem of Twitter, or this is not problem of leadership. It is a problem of people who voted and who elected such kind of people who don't believe in them, right? So possibly
Mm-hmm.
the president or prime minister get elected for the
Mm.
country,
Yeah.
and finally he decide, okay, what I have to do, he will do it, right? So that's what
Yeah.
same thing he's done. He has banned that Twitter because he sees that there is a threat if the people
Mm-hmm.
getting exposed, if
Mm-hmm.
and trying to point out the failures, possibly he will not get again appointed or again elected in election in Nigeria, right? So
Mm-hmm.
this is what the fear and power of digital media, and I think I think you are expert in that and you're doing good work. And Africa need more people like Janet Machuka to inspire and support people, not politicians. Politicians are, I know, always temporary, right? They will come and they will go. But what about people? Somebody should talk on the behalf of people what they need, education, health, and the basic requirements. But let's move to another topic, Janet. How you see specifically Kenya press
Uh-huh.
freedom? So in Kenya, I heard that most of the journalists are getting also pressurized by government and also. What is your view? Being a journalist, if the press freedom is a more strong in Kenya, or what is your opinion on that?
Wow, in Kenya, I believe we have the best kind of freedom. And the reason why I'm saying that is almost everything goes online.
Okay.
Everything gets, as in the kind of conversations that go online can be from good to bad,
Hmm.
sometimes even worse.
Okay.
uh, Most of the time, if I have to talk about the freedom, we usually look at politics and maybe what the leaders are doing in the country when
Hmm.
it comes to building development. Is it something that we can appreciate? And one problem I have with us, me being one of the Kenyans, is we talk about something, we get frustrated in a day. The second day we are forgotten. Moving on like nothing happened. So the freedom of expression in Kenya is, I think it's almost 99,
Great.
not 99. Let me put it at 90. 99 is too much.
Yeah.
90, as much as I am talking about how we can express ourselves on social media and such, but again, the way people are now expressing themselves, it has reached a point where abuse, too much trolling, bullying, and a lot
Mhm.
of misinformation and fake news is emerging because that travels faster. And in a place where freedom of expression is free and is given, there
Mhm.
is bound to be a lot of misinformation and fake
Yeah.
news. So I support the fact that Kenyans are able to say whatever they want to say. But
Mhm.
again, we need some limit where we can be able to know how can we fact check, how can we go about curbing the misinformation and fake news. But I think this is the reason why our president left Twitter, because it was too hot for him.
Kenyatta. Kenyatta.
Yeah, he had to leave Twitter because every day, Kenyans, the freedom of expression has made people can come up with any hashtag and then start talking about something,
Mhm.
especially if it's political and if you love doing politics and if you love such discussions. Some
Mhm.
people end up giving their opinions, and as a person, as a leader, and even as an individual, before you even get to leaders, you
Mhm.
wouldn't want to read a lot of negative of what you're doing and how you're conducting yourself all the time. You will be
Mhm.
demotivated or
Yeah.
demoralized even to go on doing better to the people.
Yeah.
So I think for him it was like, no, you guys, I will just leave the platform for you. You can talk, but the PR team and the other people are close. You can guide me to do one, two, three. But all the same, I couldn't say this is bad because it has really helped us to be able to speak about topics that were not given that a bigger audience and media coverage. And
Mhm.
now social media being one of the most powerful tool in Kenya, it has been able to do to like create a lot of conversation that even go to the mainstream media and even beyond. So I appreciate it. I love social media and I would like to
Absolutely.
use it all the time.
No, everything. I think if I look at in the next 10 years, talk about any business, right? Journalism, industry, or any kind of business that is completely going to be online, and the online digital platform is a backbone of any business in the coming 10 years, right? So,
Yeah,
being a digital
sure.
influencer, what would be your advice for a people who wanted to become a digital influencer in the coming years? So if you could elaborate and you can share your experience and this thought process, it will be great, Janet.
Uh, for anybody who want to use social media, one thing I've really learned about it is first think about the people. It's a connection that you're trying to build with people who don't really know you personally. And these are people who are trying to understand how do you communicate? What is your tone? How are you making them feel? How are you making them feel part of your community? That's one thing you have to really make sure that you understand it. Look at it as a date. Every single day, just approach your social media as a, let's put it like this: you've liked a guy, or you've liked a girl or a boy, and then you want to meet them the first time. They always that very nice captivating words you use, the way you approach them, the way you dress, the way you want to create an impression to them. That's what you should think about every single day that you're using your social media platforms, especially the major ones that you know, and you want to build an authority in that space. How are you creating an impression in these people? What are you communicating to them? How are you communicating to them? Sometimes, yes, there's a group of people who might tend to share the negative sentiments, or sometimes it can be even criticism. How should you go about responding to that? How should you involve empathy in your communication? So, all in all, is create meaningful relationships on the social media platform. Find out an area of interest that you will want to learn. Be, as in, go all out, do your research. Find out the people who are in that niche, create the relationships with them. And if you have to join all conversations, know how you're going to approach them. How are you going to approach your tweets? How you are going to approach your opinions or your views? So
Mhm.
if you will be able to know that, you will be on the right track. But remember, on social media, it's all about learning every single day. You have to be aware of the features, you have to be aware of the trends, you have to be aware of what is happening and why is it happening, and how is it supposed to, will it affect me, my content, as a person who wants to build an authority, or an influential person in the digital space. And something else, as much as people will attack, try all your best to look at what is the other better side. How can you respond to them in a way that you're not creating a lot of enemies? Instead, you're making them think about researching more about you, learning what you do, and loving your work in the process. People will not come to your social media account and like you or love you the first time they communicate with you or they engage with you. It will take time. So give them that time. Engage once if they engage on your platform. But remember again, it doesn't mean that you have to only wait for them to engage on your platform. Go all out. Find communities that involve these people that you want to engage with. Engage with their content. Go to their platforms. What are they doing? Sometimes they are search on the Twitter trending topics. It really works. But if you don't feel any Twitter trend that is happening at that particular time, go ahead and search on your Twitter particular words, depending on the keywords that you want to search. Find out what are people saying and create the communities. And remember, it's not all about people in your country alone. Social media has given us a chance to live bounded. As in, we don't have a boundary. We don't have a location to say, okay, now these are people who are following me in Kenya, and I don't want people from India following me. Go all out. Create a profile, or create an account, or create a personal brand that is not only known in your specific geographical location, but you're creating it for the world. So be
That's
free.
that's great, Janet. Nice to know your suggestions and feedback for all our viewers who wanted to become a social media or digital marketing influencer, and possibly they will when they look at your profile they will realize that uh, the impact and the confidence and achievement how digital marketers or digital influencer can create a difference in society. So that's great to have you on our Transformative Times. It was really pleasure to talk with you every time, and we look forward to invite you again in upcoming months. Keep doing good work you as you are doing it, and inspire people in Africa what you're doing through ATC Academy and also Africa Tweet Chat. It was a pleasure to have you on Transformative Times. Thank you very much, Janet.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.